Tom asked me to welcome, I was like, yes, I'm so excited. I finally get to do this. This brings so many students together, so much creativity. I'm so happy that we get to do it so often, and thrilled to be welcoming you here. I hope that you have a great afternoon sharing, going through like all of the, I'm not an artist, but I appreciate art and I appreciate writing. And this literary magazine here has brought so many people together to share stories and impact so many in so many ways. So as I see like a million faces, I'm like, yes, this is fantastic. Thank you for having me and thank you for being here. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Maria. Help yourself to food. Maria and her Office of Student Engagement support all these events and help us with food and refreshments and all that good stuff. So thank you so much. Help yourself. I'm Tom Laughlin, coordinator of the Creative Writing Program, and this is the release party and reading for Dead River Review, issue 1. Really excited that you're here. I'm really excited about this issue, which is the largest issue yet of Dead River Review. Let's hear it for 72 published pieces, 47 contributors. We've got fiction, graphic story, essay, creative nonfiction, art, paintings, drawings, photos, poems, translations, poems and translation, from alums, faculty, students, wonderful mix. So we're going to hear some of those pieces, and behind me is Dead River Review, our online literary magazine. If you have not checked it out, go to deadriverreview.com right now and check it out. You'll hear some pieces and hear people talk about their artwork and photography and say a few things for us. So without further ado, let's hear it from some of our contributors, and let's start with Deanna Witter. Deanna.
Good afternoon. Dead River Review, Peoples and Middlesex. I'm an alum, and it's been a while since I've been in this room. But I was really happy to hear when Dead River Review is taking that I got inside the window, the short window that I heard. So this is called We Don't Look Desperate. We don't look very desperate, but it doesn't mean we aren't. The winter wind roars deep around us. The raucous howl seems so familiar. As the screen moves deeper and further, it doesn't mean it has subsided. It's discordant in absence. My son told me the mistakes I feel are only my perception, forgetting what he said the day before. His pain is real. My pain is his. His pain is mine exponentially now. The wind roars somewhere else today. The desperation is not loud, but it doesn't mean it isn't here.
For starting us off with some poetry. And our next reader, we're going to hear some fiction from Michelle Whalen.
Hello. This is called Worthy. It's a short story pulled from a novel I'm working on. It's fiction. This is in quotes, so this is the character speaking when we start off. I could hear my mother and father arguing at the other end of the apartment. That was pretty normal, but this time I heard my mother running closer towards our bedroom, which was right next to our front door in the kitchen. She unlocked the deadbolt and I heard the storm door swing open. Then I heard my father's footsteps through the kitchen and out the door, and then around the side of the house. Where were you at this point? Dr. O asked Vivian as she moved her finger left to right and right to left, repeatedly in front of Vivian's eyes, while Vivian tracked her every movement. I was on the top bunk above my brother, who was just a toddler then. He was a heavy sleeper. He never woke up that night. I was sitting in my bed trying to listen when Erica came into our bedroom, and she stood at my bed and talked to me in the dark. I was still sitting high in my bunk, and she was glad to see me there. She said everything would be all right, and told me she was going to stay with me a while my mother talked to the police. I could see the lights from my bedroom window. Honestly, it was kind of exciting but confusing, so, you know. Dr. O asked, is Erica a friend, or? Yeah, she's really cool. She's the one who told me about the ghost and his name the first time I saw him. She was one of my favorites in that family, her and Nadine. They were the best. Can you imagine all 10 kids, all grown up, and most of them still living up there together? I can't imagine. Nope, not even. Tell me about the fight, Dr. O interjected. Did you hear anything after your mother and father ran out of the house? Vivienne described how she had heard her mother screaming after running out of the front door, and that she had heard her yelling for help all the way around the side of the house next to her bedroom. Then up the stairs that had the back of the house, she heard all the pounding every step of the way. She told Dr. O how her father had chased after her mother and how she had heard his feet stomping so fast up the steps and through the mudroom above Vivienne's and her brother's bedroom. I felt sick all of a sudden, Vivienne declared. Vivienne went on to explain to Dr. O that she had heard the whole family upstairs screaming, "Get off her!" and that she had heard some banging noises, and then all of a sudden silence. Then a few agonizing seconds had passed before she heard feet stomping back down the stairs again. It was her father running away before the police got there. Then what happened after he left, Dr. O asked. That was when Erica came down to our bedroom, Vivienne told her. How long did she stay, Dr. O asked. Not too long, replied Vivienne. It all started after my bedtime, and I remember looking at the clock when Erica left, and it was after midnight. I do remember that. And what did you and your mother do after Erica left? After the cops left, and Erica left, my mother asked me to lie on the couch with her, which I did, of course. I was scared. My mother knew domestic violence, DV wasn't taken seriously in the 80s, you know. They always released the men back out on the streets after telling them to go cool off somewhere. They didn't want the extra paperwork, I guess. That's how they saw it. Did she tell you that he might come back? No, but I knew. How? Dr. O inquired. She had me lay there on the couch in front of her, and she put her arms around me. I was her shield. She knew he wouldn't lay a hand on me. Vivienne said with a touch of pride in her voice. Did you know that? Dr. O asked. Vivienne paused and said, no, I did not. Dr. O paused to recognize Vivienne's trauma. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It is what it is, Vivienne quipped. Silence filled the room for about 10 seconds while Dr. O took notes on her computer and Vivienne picked at her fingernails. Okay, Vivienne, as we wrap up this session, I want to give you some homework, an assignment to do before next week. It's a writing assignment, and I'd like for you to give it some real thought before you attack it. The program requires it, and it's really important. Oh, and I almost forgot, I have a brand new research study that I'd like you to participate in if you're willing. If I'm willing.
Thanks, Michelle. Now we have some poetry in translation, poetry in English and Spanish with Willy Ramirez. Sorry, I'll pull it up and you can let them know it's response.
Hi. This is a poem I wrote in response to this painting here by one of our faculty member at Middlesex. Her name is Angela Alea. So we read this. I read this at the gallery where the work is being shown about maybe 2 weeks ago. So this is my second reading of this poem. I think I'm going to read the Spanish version and then read the English translation. Paisaje de abril 2026. Otra vez, te sientes en tu tabla de ajedrez, a tus pies esperan los de siempre, listos para arremeter a palos la piñata del día. Este juego, todo este juego, la lluvia que has provocado, los puentes que jamás debiste cruzar, demasiados pies impregnados de flor, manos abren las puertas con la esperanza de ver el día. Te lo he dicho 1000 veces, son vientres humanos los vientres que están en cinta. Insistes en llenar los jardines de piedras, arrancar árboles, llenar el mar de monedas. Conocemos la manera en que te sientas en la mesa. Sabemos lo que traes en los bolsillos, los lugares que frecuentas, las manchas en tu cuerpo. Tienes mucho tiempo que caminas desnudo. Es abril, huele a muerte, tienes el mundo lleno de lodo. Y yo salgo de una conferencia sobre el genocidio camboyano. Hay miedo de que aumenten las moscas en las calles, de la jaula que cubre tu cabeza, de las islas con las que has llenado tu cuerpo. ¿Te has detenido a verte las manos? ¿Quién lava tus platos después de cenar? ¿Quién lava tus cucharas y tenedores? ¿Hundiste tu mano en algún charco? ¿Qué hay en el charco? ¿Quién lo llenó? ¿Por qué bebes otra cosa si hay tanta agua en el mundo? ¿Por qué diablos has decidido cantar en otra voz? ¿Quién te dio los derechos? Estás en el aire como una máquina violenta. En casa decimos que eres siempre vas a mirar por encima del hombro. Has aprendido muy poco de los viejos humanos y sus aventuras. No recuerdas el siglo anterior, ni los otros. Muy arriba las arañas crecen y forjan nuestro siglo. Nuestro humilde intento por entender este idioma. Más que nunca estamos confundidos. La sien humana va desbordada hacia el filo de una mesa. ¿Será que cruzaremos nuestro siglo sin tragarnos la luz? Una tortuga que aún ama el paisaje es lo único que nos sostiene. Leo que hemos emprendido el mayor viaje de la humanidad. Montados en una ola de fuego, regresará a la Tierra este viernes la tripulación de la histórica misión Artemis II a la Luna. Me pregunto si hemos llegado demasiado lejos. April Landscape 2026. Once again, you descend on your chessboard. At your feet, they wait, the same ones, ready to strike with sticks the piñata of the day. this game, this whole game, the rain you have provoked, the bridges you should have never crossed, too many feet impregnated with flowers, hands open the doors with the hope of seeing the day. I have told you 1,000 times, the pregnant wounds are human wounds. You insist on filling gardens with stones, uprooting trees, filling the sea with coins. We know the way you sit at the table. We know what you carry in your pockets, the places you go to, the stains in your body. You have been walking naked for too long. It is April. It smells like death. You have the world covered in mud. And I had just attended a conference on the Cambodian genocide. There is fear that the flies are increasing, of the cage that covers your head, of the islands with which you have filled your body. Have you stopped to look at your hands? Who washes your dishes after dinner? Who washes your spoons and forks? Did you sink your hands in some puddle? What is in the puddle? Who filled it? Why do you drink something else if there is so much water? Why the hell have you decided to sing in a different voice? Who gave you the rights? You are on the air like a violent machine. At home, we say that you are blind space. You will always be looking from above your shoulder. You have learned very little from humanity's old adventures. You do not remember the previous century, nor the others. Very high up, the spiders grow and forge our century. Our humble attempt to understand this language. More than ever, we are confused. The human temple plunges toward the edge of a table. Will we cross our century without gulping the light? A turtle that still loves the landscape is the only thing holding us. I read that we have embarked on humanity's greatest journey, that mounted on a ball of fire, the crew of the historic Artemis II mission to the moon will return to Earth this Friday. I wonder if we have gone too far. Thank you.
Thank you, Willie. And we're going to turn to some photography and science. Ben McFarland, and Lisa Lobel.
So our microphotograph is of a diatom embedded in a sea urchin. Diatom is basically a unicellular phytoplankton, which means that it makes oxygen and nutrients from the sun. And actually, diatoms make up over 30% of our oxygen that we breathe every day. The sea urchin samples were collected by Professor Lobel on the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef in Belize. The photomicrograph was taken with a thermoscientific desktop scanning electron microscope at over 7,200 times magnification. We prepared the sample together by breaking off a piece of the sea urchin endoskeleton and coating it with gold so that we could actually view it. And after we scanned around for a while, we found this little diatom buried in the endoskeleton of the sea urchin. We managed to identify it as being in the genus Mastogelia, and it is approximately 20 to 30 microns in size. We were taking the pictures because we were collecting little micrographs for our STEAM event, which is science, tech, engineering, art, and math. And we thought that showcasing the technology, the science, and the art of the microphotograph would fit really well here. And yeah, we just wanted to give you guys a look into the little microscopic web of life that we look at. Okay.
Cool, huh? Thanks, Ben and Lisa. I know Jonathan Bennett had a little tight time, so we're going to pull Jonathan Bennett up for some more poetry.
Thank you to the editors at Dead River Review, y'all rock. Thank you, Tom, for organizing all of this, being the backbone. I'm also reading a piece that's related to a painting by Willy Ramirez. This is titled The Guardian, and the poem that I'm going to read is a poem in 3 parts, and it's engaging these 2 and 1 strange figures. Goosehead. 1. You never laugh, you only cry, laugh, or cry. You're always saying what you know, how tall you are, how much better, smarter, faster, but you never were soft, kind, sweet, unless it benefited you. And now you're sad, a crier, but a different kind of town crier. You are the one who never sleeps, the one who destroys civilizations, the one who makes it all about them. You are ceaseless, and you are cruel. Chickenhead. 2. You are the correction and the balance to your evil twin guardian. The 2 of you, when taken together, are forever balancing and unbalancing each other. But you're the kind one, the quick one, the one to be competed with. You are always the first there, and the last to leave. You never complain, all the while claiming what is yours. You find ways to work together, to be together, for others to be who and what they are. You make room for more than yourself. You are ever listening, but also maybe sick in a different way to your guardian. Sick from holding in your life wishes. Sick from holding in your life-giving capabilities. Sick from being the vessel and not the life coursing through it. To be you is to have to fight the other guardian off, to be at odds with the other half of your guardian self. What was there to guard? 3. A world made by masters and bosses that stealers and takers inherit and pass down to the next generation of stealers and takers, but a world nonetheless. We, worldless ones, we, nearly earthless ones, complaining to the guardian heads to cease their bickering. Goosehead, most of all, but Chickenhead too, is trying to create the terms and conditions for their co-guardianship of what was there to guard. But almost nothing is left. What they had to guard from was that it all could go away. Just because it hasn't doesn't mean it can't. We've seen the Earth-destructive bombs and missile warheads. We know they exist. We know that the masters and bosses who are thumping their chests when the Pentagon are cruel, life-stealing zombies, and we will not stand for any of it. Chickenhead and Goosehead, be the guardians you said you were. Be wise, be still, be swift. Take from them, give us back our earth and life chances. Be who you said you were. Take from the takers, the stealers, give us back our world, our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And Jonathan thanked me, but I want to especially thank Jonathan, who first taught and designed this course that I teach, Creative Writing and Publishing, and was creator of Dead River Review with their students at the time. So thank you so much for starting it off. Our next reader is Sydney Dunbar.
So this is a short work of fantasy fiction, Memory Keeper. I keep memories, said the keeper, though they could not remember why, as they spoke to no one but the shelves that stretched into eternity. The books in the endless library of thread were not written in ink, they were stitched from soul thread and memory. Loose threads dangled like cobwebs as the keeper passed, their steps slow and deliberate. That's all the keeper did, sleep, walk, shelf, again, again. The keeper had no book, they had no memories to weave, but sometimes the keeper would dare open a book from the shelf. They never knew why, but something about the whispers inside called to them, whispers of feeling. The keeper could feel the sinking heaviness from the threads that held lives crushed with sorrow. They felt the burn in their fingers from silks blazing with fury. They couldn't open the ones where the strands wrapped around their fingers, yearning to share in love and longing, all brief, heady tastes of raw, unknown emotion. What was it like to feel, the keeper wondered. The keeper was always alone, until one day they weren't. The visitor appeared, familiar yet entirely new. The same flesh, same shape, same eyes as the keeper, but there was heaviness in their frame, darkness around their eyes, pallor beneath their skin. I want to forget, they said to the keeper. Why, the keeper asked. The pain is too much, the visitor said, a crack in their voice. I've never been enough. The keeper gestured to the books, the ones that were desperately whispering, their loose threads drifting towards them, reaching. You wish to forget your own life? The visitor nodded. To read others' memories is to lose your own, the keeper added. The visitor clapped their hands together as if in prayer. I'll do anything, please. If you wish to forget, you must first find your own thread, the keeper said softly, gesturing to the shelves. As the visitor passed, the threads reached for them, memories flashing within the iridescent strands. The visitor followed the images, looking for their own. But there were countless books, endless shelves, never-ending threads of soul. As the visitor searched, there were some strands that held smiles on warm sunny days, laughter at popping popcorn, tucking little children into bed with memorized stories and giggling kisses. Those ones made the visitor smile. Other strands held sobbing beneath blankets, mocking whispers behind backs, and hands held as life slowly slipped away. Those memories reminded the visitor of their own pain, but with a taste of regret. These were lives well lived, weren't they? As the visitor was pulled further and further into the eternal library, opening one life story after another, the door they had walked through glowed like it was bathed in light. The light called to the keeper, and when the keeper opened the door, they opened their first memory, and they wept with joy. When the keeper walked through the door, it disappeared, as if they had never been there at all. But the visitor continued to follow thread after thread, opening book after book. They began to wonder why they had come here in the first place. The visitor looked up, but there was no one there. Why am I here? The visitor asked. The library of thread whispered. The shelves called for management as new strands formed, as new books continued to be stitched from new soul thread. I keep memories, the visitor keeper whispered, though they could not remember why.
Thank you, Sydney. Our next reader, Humdaan Asif. Humdaan.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm really nervous. I'm like pulling it up as we speak. So I am very nervous. It's my first time here. It's a dream come true. So before I get started, I wanted to say a few thank yous to this is the piece that I'm writing, or that I am about to present, is my very first poem that I took seriously. So, and I remember when I first debuted it to my family, everybody loved it. It's a huge shout out to them. I'd love to thank them. And just, I'm really grateful to be here right now. I'm like really nervous. So without further ado, let's just start. So the name is Pata Nahi, Malum Nahi. And the English translation is I don't know, I am not aware. So I'm going to do the Urdu first. क्या मैंने प्यार किया, किसी को अपना दिल दिया, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं, क्या मैंने तुमसे प्यार किया, तुमको अपना दिल दिया, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं, क्या मैं जानता था कि मैंने तुमसे प्यार किया, क्या मैं जानता था कि मैंने तुमको अपना दिल दिया, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं, क्या मैंने कभी तुमसे नफरत करने की कोशिश की, क्या मैं उस कोशिश में कामयाब हुआ, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं, क्या हम एक दूसरे के लिए ठीक थे, क्या हम एक दूसरे के लिए सही थे, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं, क्या मुझे कोई और मिल सकता है, क्या तुम्हें कोई और मिल सकता है, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं, शायद मैं नादान था, शायद मैं तैयार नहीं था, पता नहीं मालूम नहीं. Thank you. That was the English one. I don't know, I am not aware. Did I ever love someone? Did I ever give someone my heart? I don't know, I am not aware. Did I ever love you? Did I ever give you my heart? I don't know, I am not aware. Did I ever know that I loved you? Did I ever know that I gave you my heart? I don't know. I am unaware. Did I ever try to hate you? Was I ever successful in that? I don't know. I am unaware. Were we right for each other? Were we the best for each other? I don't know. I am unaware. Will I find someone else? Will you find someone else? I don't know. I am unaware. Maybe I was naive. Maybe I wasn't ready. I don't know. I am unaware. Thank you.
Thank you, Humdaan. Our next reader is Simone. Oh, come on. Simone.
These days, all I can do is look back at you with harlequin eyes that see the way it is and the way it could have been. You told me you were proud of me, and I cried because I knew that you meant it. I can't have that which is right in front of me. Like the dog they buried up to its neck, I am driven mad for something just out of reach.
Thank you, Simone. Is Jeff here? Oh, there you are. Yes, Jeff Caplan. And the photograph of Jeff Caplan.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I just want to thank Tom, thank the Denver Review, the editors, for having my photograph in here. Just see what we can get stuff there. There it is. So, I'm a staff member here at Middlesex Community College. I'm the coordinator of media production. I'm also an adjunct here. I teach a class called street photography, and I also teach digital one photography and another class called message design. So this photo is of, this photo was taken in Lowell, Massachusetts, in downtown. This is the former Lowell Beauty Academy, and it's titled Lowell Academy. I like to, I love the Lowell landscape. I'm constantly inspired by Lowell. Lowell's my hometown. I didn't always live there. I moved around a little bit all around the country, but I always just love how the Lowell landscape changes. And it's always changing. There's always new buildings going up and old buildings coming down, and it just changes all around town. So I like to get out there in the street and walk around with my camera and see what I see. So this, like I said, this is Lowell Beauty Academy. You can kind of see some old hair dryers in there. I just love the reflections off of the window that were happening with the photograph. It wasn't until I started editing the photograph a little bit where I could see all those buildings, those shapes of the buildings kind of come through a little bit more. So it's just it's a nice representation of a piece of Lowell that's not there anymore. And I'm just fascinated by the hair dryers. I love the box in there. I love all the different elements that kind of make these layers up. It gives you a lot to look at. And I think that's the mark of an interesting photograph. If you spend a lot of time moving your eye around the work, and you spend a lot of time finding new things, little treats, what I call little treats inside there. So I just want to thank everybody for letting me have a moment here and take a look at the photo and move your eyes around it and enjoy it. Okay? All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff. And our next reader is Bella Valenta. Bella.
This is my first time doing this. This is actually one of my first poems. I wanted to thank Professor Tedesco for pushing me a little bit extra to come and do it because she knows I was a little scared, but here I am. And thank you to the editors also and everybody that's made this happen today. Kind of like an eye-opening experience for me. So here's my poem. It is called Convenience. I like convenience, convenient stores, convenient food, convenient drinks. Somewhere along the way, I became one, welcoming, thoughtful, ready for emergencies, full of drinks and food. But when my shelves are empty and it is time to restock, my essentials are left. My water, the water that keeps me hydrated, the water that keeps me fulfilled, the water that keeps me hopeful. My essentials keep me alive when the excitement of convenience runs out. But I don't like being convenient.
Thank you, Bella. Good job. First time. Good work. Our next reader is John Chamberlain. John.
Thank you very much. So this is a poem called Refrigerator Magnets. And the idea is we all have refrigerators with photographs and everything else on there. Oh yeah. So there's the photo that inspired this. So it's my daughter and my wife. Yeah. Thanks. I didn't know that was part of it. Anyway. The day-to-day rhythms slide into the other like wrappers tossed, containers recycled. The remembered two notes fastened to the door, but good memories, important ones, attached by magnets, cling to the collage of family, friends, and identities, the narrative thread of journeys. Where would I be without this? A hijira of picture postcard charms. Little Johnny Mitchell, shout out there. The day-to-day takes over, but on this wall, where you've been mixes with who we are. Graduations, yearbook photos, childhood puppies, holy days and holidays. Tonight, in brushing past, a glorious mother-daughter snapshot tumbles to the floor. I pick it up and linger, remember, because it could have been swept away or lost deep inside a drawer. I reattach it securely, layer it with others to make room for more. The picture plus the precious makes memory echo larger than before. John, Sarah, Katie, and Haley, their friends and partners, our close friends, extended families, concentric circles, now distant parents. Memories rhyme. Bring who they were stronger to the fore, make mother and father evergreen once more. Our lives held together by tiny refrigerator magnets, the pull irresistible. Magnets like love, swift and mysterious. Fasten memories, the nuclear pull of family and core of friends, held together as close burning logs hold fire. Rhythm, rhyme, and memory keep us closer to the heart. Lives transfigured by moments held tight on life's daily swinging door.
Thank you, John. Our next is Nick Todd to either read poem or talk about your graphic story.
Do the graphics.
Okay, great. Nick Todd.
Slight warning that this is a little dark, so be warned. So I came up with this idea while reading a textbook for comic book art, and there was a prompt in there that I didn't follow very well, but it ended up with this eventually. It is essentially a story of a man who has lost someone, a loved one, and has come to seek answers. And when he finds out the truth of what happened, he has a horror reaction. Yeah.
Teasers.
Yeah, it was probably, I think this was the first time that I really finished a comic book like this and published it, because normally I don't have deadlines and they just end up unfinished things. But yeah, it was fun to make, if slightly depressing through the process, but Thanks.
Thanks, Nick. We'll hear a little bit more from Nick a little later as an editor. We'll hear a bit from our editors. But we are next going to hear some poetry from Willow Kelley. Willow.
Which one?
Reunion. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Give me a second. I'm close up. I'm also an editor of Denver Review. It's been quite the honor to work with Tom Laughlin and all my classmates. I had a great semester. Can you tell I'm stalling while I find my phone?
You got it. You got it.
If you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't know.
Almost there. Give me a second. Yeah. Alright. This one's called Reunion. It is a fictional poem, if that makes sense. None of this actually happened, but I started writing this during lockdown 6 years ago, and it finally found its home. Alright. I'm behind the bar, finishing off my lungs for the 4th time this evening, watching you stumble toward the street, an empty bottle clenched in your white knuckles. You lose your conviction when the 3rd cab ignores you, not desperate enough to be the scene of your crime when you can no longer hold your liquor. I watch you slide down the bricks of the club, and I feel my feet move towards you, pushing the rock salt around as if warning you of my approach. Instead, you watch me sink down next to you, our first time face to face in what feels like lifetimes. I can feel you studying as I fight with my lighter again, and I think maybe I hear a thank you, slurring from your soaked lips, dripping with alcohol in no way I'd ever seen. I know it's killing you to be this close, and I offer my lighter to your own cigarette as if to prove it's killing me too. I ask if you want to ride home, hold out my hand as a crutch, and let you pick the tunes for old time's sake. We're halfway home and you haven't sung a word. I offer a series of meek reintroductions, like it hasn't been forever since we've spoken. Instead of humoring me, you burst into tears. And through these sobs, you stutter an apology I never expected to hear from you. You tell me you can see the stars tonight for the first time since you left me. I don't bother sharing that I haven't looked up since. We're long past your house now as the sun starts to rise. I'm kissing your cheeks like I used to. For a second, everything stops. I hear nothing but your shallow breathing, like a rhythm stuck in my head, and I match it. I watch the rays dance across your face as you light a second cigarette and the wind shakes the flame. You don't ask why I brought you here. We just watch the waves crawl to the sand, sticking our heads out the window to feel the rising sun, the same way we did the day we met. Thank you.
Thank you, Willow. Any other contributors that arrived and would like to share? Okay, go ahead, Nick, yes, please.
You forgot.
Did I forget? I'm sorry, Nick Hogan. Yes, come on up, Nick.
Oh shit. I had it on my phone just died.
What you gonna do?
The lovers one.
Okay.
Do
you want to read it off the screen? How about that?
Yeah, could I, does this
go.
come out?
Yes. There we go. How about that?
Yes.
Does this come out?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
This is one that I read it for a slam poetry event, or like a created for a slam poetry event. I spent like a bunch of time on it. And then at the event, we were supposed to do 2 pieces. And everyone really loved the second one, which I made that day. But I always believed in this one, so.
Just use the arrow.
Okay.
Read it off here.
Yep. Oh yeah, I should probably give the title. The title is What Lover Spit by a Broken Social Scene Does to 2 Teenage Boys. was trying to be ironic. I line the needle so that it lands on the leading groove of that record you keep in a padlock box in the center of your heart. But you bare your chest to me and show all of the dirty parts of your soul. We sit side by side, salaciously, your smooth skin sometimes swipes just past the soft side of my arm as you drown me in a memory of the moment the song finally made sense. Do you feel it too? That wind whipping against your wide open heart? Do you feel how the music moves us together in the pale moonlight, making way through your bedroom window? I saw your hands seem less expressive as you sink into superfluous stories that only serve to sand down the time we have to find each other. This nervousness sits inside and scrapes at your throat to keep the silence. We dance around words that spoil our true intentions. You know wolves wait for you there in the tall glass of your indecision, so you set your sights to the end of the song. A simple goal, but as the decrescendo does its rounds, you don't know how to sink your teeth into something that holds weight, big enough to crush ourselves and the rest of this crummy little town. I inch a hand to settle on the exposed skin of your thigh. That's movie speak for it's on. All I do is graze the soft flesh of your kneecaps. My fingers retract, reaching back to a safe position. I say sorry without seeing how your eyes pop out with the prospect of not carrying that weight. It's getting harder to ignore the bullet train bulldozing the barrier of our burning desire. This train takes my red face into its commanding claws and turns so that you and I are face to face, body to body, parallel on this turning surface. Gravity leads your hand to my cheek as your lips take the last leap into something more.
Thank you, Nick. Awesome. What do you think? Some good selections from this rich journal, and there's lots more there. There were a lot of people who couldn't make it, but let's hear it for all the contributors today. I asked, we have in this creative writing and publishing class teams, 3 editorial teams, and those groups work with I assign individual contributors work, and they make decisions, communicate with those contributors, make edits, create these posts that have been flashing, and want them to speak briefly about their experience. And I thought it'd be nice to attach a face to some of these editors, for those contributors especially, who may not know them. So maybe I'll have Editorial Group 1 start. Can we have you pop up? We're missing, I think Jake had to leave, but maybe step up and say hello. And this is Emma and Sydney, who are part of Fiction Group. All yours.
Hi, we're the Fiction Editorial Group. Just want to say thank you for everyone for coming out today. Thank you to everybody who submitted and all of the contributors. I found it really fun to work on this, and it was very enlightening regarding the editorial process for something like a literary magazine, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, kind of same. But it was awesome to kind of see all the different, we were fiction, but we did get some poetry, so it was great to see different ideas and styles and all sorts of things like on the page, as well as, working in groups in a collaborative, environment, because sometimes it's not easy to edit and it most certainly can be a little stressful. So thank you to everybody that submitted, and also I think thank you to the other editors too, because I think we had to really work together to kind of get it together.
Yeah.
So, for sure. Yeah.
Great teams and great editors this year. So how about Editorial Group 2? Step up.
Hi again.
If you got rejected or if you didn't like your edits, that's our fault. That's our bad, I'm sorry.
We had a really good time working this semester on the literary journal. I am a person who thrives with deadlines, and we had those. Not everybody followed them, but the ones who did, we are very appreciative of. We are very thankful to be able to work with a bunch of fantastic writers and artists and photographers and all that fun stuff. It was really cool to see what this school had to offer. And thank you guys for showing us your stuff. One thing I will say, it is a little tough to navigate Tom Laughlin's Google Drive. I had a hard time with that, so just be forewarned if you do take this class. If you're not good with Google Drive, get good at Google Drive. That's all I really have to say. I had a really great time this semester. Stretching my editing muscles is something that I wasn't really familiar with before this semester, so it was really nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have anything else to say. They did a really good job summarizing it. And the Google Drive is very confusing. And I barely followed it.
Tom, fix your Google Drive. In conclusion, fix your Google Drive. Thank you guys.
So for those who aren't in the class, there's a Google Drive with folders, and so when people submit, they are put in the poetry, fiction, art, and that allows everyone to be able to see. It's like, oh, it gets passed on to this folder now, if it made it here, and then it gets passed on to this. So anyway, we'll work on ways to diagram that, yes. And group 3 ended up as a solo here. Nick Todd, and that was media and creative nonfiction, poetry, photography, art, what am I missing? Films, any other things? All yours. Nick Todd.
I think I heard the opinion of the confusing Google Drive. Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, life happened, so I ended up by myself, but the other editing groups just helped me out a little bit, so did Tom. And I mean, I think that one of the things that I learned was just like being able to communicate, because like sometimes you don't know what other people have done on like the posting the stuff and communicating on that and all that, and also writing emails that sound professional is not something I've ever done before. Not really. So that was a new thing. So, but overall, it was fun. Tom Laughlin's a great professor for this class, and so were all my classmates. As classmates. So.
Great. Thank you, Nick. I'll pay you later. But it was a wonderful, it has been a wonderful class, and this group has just been great. And again, I want to thank all the contributors. We had such a rich mix of material, so I hope you take a look and enjoy. One thing that was on there, I just want to point out, lots of different things, but art and photography. We didn't have any of our visual artists to speak today, but there's paintings and drawings. We also had Willy Ramirez read his poem in Spanish and English, but he also submitted 2 poems that are Spanish translations of the Pulitzer Prize winning poet Tahimba Jess. And so those are really neat to see, and the originals we got permissions for. We also have fiction by Humdaan. It's wonderful. And there it is, the image right there. And an amazing concrete poem by Will Jewell that is called Broken Vase. And the poetry group did a great job with formatting that, and so it's physically shaped like a vase. So we'll have to take a look at all these, and a lot of wonderful work. So again, thank you for being here, and the QR code will take you on the wall there to Dead River Review. It's deadriverreview.com, but also on the wall there's a QR code that will take you to the Creative Writing at Middlesex website, and lots of great materials. Look for events and our club information and events and readings next semester. And if anyone's interested in creative writing courses, Amanda Tedisco is teaching reading writing fiction, so please talk with her in the fall. I'm teaching creative writing 1 and 2, and on the Bedford campus, and Willy Ramirez is teaching creative writing 1 and 2 on the Lowell campus. So think about that for some of these wonderful creative writers. Love to have you explore your work more. So again, thanks for being here, and issue 11, let's hear it.